Part 2. So, you chose the life of an earth angel. Now, an earth angel is just a broad term for many different types of earth angels. You can be a seer, you can be a healer, you can be an empath, you can be a wayshower, you can be have all the clairs, sentience, clear audience, clairvoyant, clear all of those things. You can be any of those things. Those are all earth angels. Oh, I forgot to say, a twin flame is a special form of an earth angel. So you also could have chose to reincarnate into this life on this earth stage and this dense earth as a twin flame. In your whole entire life, you have been searching and trying to connect with that twin flame so that you can wake up the collective. But I'm going to go into all of that in just a second.
So if you chose the life an earth angel, you ultimately chose the life to elevate the timeline. There's an X and there's a Y timeline, but you chose to elevate the timeline or to show. So throughout this time when you're awakening people to their life's purpose, and that's what you chose to do. So many times earth angels, especially wayshowers, have done all of the work already. And so because they have already experienced it, prior to connecting with that other person who they are awakening or showing the path to awakening, they
So a earth angel just doesn't come into this lifetime already knowing. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they already know that they're an earth angel. Sometimes they know that they already are gifted and that they were like the black sheep of their family, and they already came into this world knowing some things, and they just knew that they were different. So sometimes that does happen, and then other times you go through a process where you have to relinquish ego. And so the both of you, so you and the other people that you are awakening, you have to come into this lifetime to relinquish ego, and otherwise you stay tethered to the lower time. So especially a high priestess, wayshowers, seers, they sometimes become assigned to a person in this 3D realm. So you get assigned to a spiritual family or to a spiritual person, and especially a twin flame. You have an assignment. You are definitely assigned to another person. And during that assignment, a lot of times you can go across timelines. So you can travel through 3D, 4D, 5D, or all of the different dimensions. Sometimes you can astral project. Sometimes you can enter the dreams of your other person. You can do all of those. Now, this life is not an easy one because during this life, our world, just being born, you're born with ego, and so it's a process of relinquishing the pathological ego. And pathological comes from the Greek word pathos, which means to suffer. So you are relinquishing the suffering. Now, I said it's hard because the ego doesn't really already know that it's suffering. It doesn't know that it's inflicted. It doesn't know that the suffering inflicted is the suffering on itself. The ego recognizes suffering as something that is outside of itself, something that's caused by somebody else or something that's caused by another experience. So some of these sufferings can look like discontent, and this is all ego, because a lot of times people think that ego is just pride. It's not. So it can look like discontent, jealousy, envy, depression, that's anxiety, hatred, resentment, victimization, guilt, shame, jealousy, and so on. Ego can take the forms of all of those different. And because, like I said, the ego doesn't know that those things are inflicted on itself. It's unconscious. So the process of awakening is waking up to those things that were unconscious to you, wakening up to those things that you need to heal. So sometimes you take the prelude, you do it first. And so you're healing those things, and in the process, you might have had an ego death, you might have had all of those things, the dark night of the soul, all of those things that cause you to suffer. And sometimes it's triggered by a breakup or an incident or a job loss or something that caused you to suffer. So it's triggered by that, but then you start this awakening process. You immediately, during that awakening process, are thrust into a family, a spiritual family, or connected with another person who you have to show that same process to. Now, let me tell you this. So, and this video, how long is this? It was getting long. Okay, so during this time, sometimes you are connected with another person and you know who you are and you know who they are to you, and you are sent to awaken them and you sent to help them heal, right? So sometimes they can not fulfill the contract. Sometimes that they can leave, sometimes they can go back and get back tethered to that lower timeline. There's nothing that you can do. All you can do is keep going. And sometimes when they break the contract that you were sent to help them to heal, Their spirit guides and ancestors sometimes connect and attach to you and help you through your awakening process. So now you got double. You got double. You got their ancestors and their spirit guides helping you throughout the journey, and then you get another contract. And so you get a whole nother contract with a whole nother person and a whole nother family, and that's just how it goes. Because everybody is not going to stick to the contract. So you'll know, and I have some things that I want to read. You will know if you meet. You will know if you have this kind of contract if you meet and play an essential role in the life of somebody else. That's number one. Number two, you may feel an insane connection with them, sometimes feeling as though you had parallel lives, like you live the same life and you have the same experiences. Number three, you recognize them as a student or a teacher. They're either the student and you're the teacher, or they're the teacher and you're the student. Either way, the roles can be switched. And you play that kind of role in their life. Number four, you are extremely sensitive to them, empathic. You pick up on their emotions, you feel their emotions. Number five, I forgot what number I'm on, child. Number five, you come in and out of their lives constantly by chance, so you just keep crossing paths and you just don't know why. Six, you or them experience their shadow self. So they expose their insecurities to you, or their deepest fears start to emerge around you. So for instance, I'm just going to tell this quick story and I'm going to get to the car. So for instance, I'm an earth angel. I was sent a person, and I met my twin flame person, and I was sent on a mission to help him with his awakening. And I knew who I was to him. He probably didn't know. I had to explain it to him, but I wasn't like pushy with it. So anyway, so he gets this dream. One night he had a dream, and he said, hey, because I asked him to go ahead and call on your ancestors to help you throughout this process. So he did. So that same ancestor came to visit him in a dream. In that dream, I was there in that dream with him, and he was explaining. He was like, I don't know why, but that dream took me back to my childhood of a place at a theater called the Quo-Vadis. And interesting enough, the word Quo-Vadis means, where are you going? And so I was there. I was getting the approval from his ancestors to work with him, to show him, to be a spiritual guide, to show him where to go. Now, needless to say, he broke the contract. He didn't want to go back. He went back to the same lifestyle of ego and trying to impress others and not understanding the assignment. But that's okay, because he broke the contract. His ancestors is working with me in this lifetime. But anyway, if this is the life that you chose, I want to get a card for you to see what the angels and ancestors are trying to tell. Okay, really quickly, what the ancestors want to know. These cards are really big. Okay, hold on. Let me get my glasses. Since you're on Earth, you understand how buildings are built. Yes, a good solid foundation, yet flexibility too in case of earthquakes. Truth be told, you can offer something sustainable unless it's built from the south. You can't offer something sustainable unless it's built from a solid foundation, whether it be an idea that takes the form of one step at a time, or an actual house that needs a sturdy foundation dug, poured, or built. We want to remind you of this because you might need a little encouragement to see that this is true in your life at this time. Celebrate the fact that right now you can repair the cracks in the